Hello, YouTube divers. This is Water Dive 122, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Coda of Soda. So, this episode will be known as Root Beer Roulette because we got not one, not two, not three, but four root beers to review, rank, and taste, or at least for half of them, anywho. And I'll explain why in a minute. But today we will be reviewing Emery's Old Fashioned Root Beer, Death Valley Root Beer, Brownie Caramel Cream Root Beer, and Route 66 Root Beer. I don't have the bottle for Route 66 Root Beer because it's already been thrown into the recycling bin, and neither here nor there. But anywho, I'm gonna give brief summaries on Brownie Caramel Cream Root Beer and Route 66 Root Beer, because I don't really have much to say about them. So let's start off with the Brownie Caramel Cream Root Beer. This is the second caramel flavored root beer that I've had on this channel, if I'm not mistaken. The other being Cicero's Salt and Caramel Root Beer, which I tried way back in Georgia many years back. But I still think Cicero's is way superior to this. So Cicero's was much more caramelly, if that makes sense. This is more salty. But if you like salted caramel, then this is a really good root beer for you. It has that caramel essence to it, but it's got a very salty underbelly and aftertaste. Um, if you're a root beer connoisseur, I don't really like if you like regular root beer. I don't think you would really like this one, but if you're really curious, give it a shot. I think it's okay. I don't think it's horrible, but yeah, I've had better root beers for sure. Same can be said with Route 66 root beer. Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan on that one either. The flavor was not very good at all. Um, yeah, it just tasted a little bit tropically. I mean, tropical for my liking. When it comes to root beer, I don't want a tropical flavor. I want a nice sassafrasy or vanilla flavor. When it comes to root beers, the fizziness was okay. The aftertaste wasn't really that great. Same could be said with Brownie Caramel Cream. It does have strong fizziness, but the aftertaste, as I said, was very, very salty. So, not really a big fan of either of these root beers, but yeah, I mean, but then again, I've reviewed a crap ton of root beers on my time here, so I mean, these are pretty much the bottom of the barrel, if you ask me. But now let's talk about the two root beers that I have actually not tried. So we'll start off with Emery's Old Fashioned Root Beer. And I just want to say I picked up all of these root beers from Emery 5 and 10s, which is a soda shop slash corner store as a part of the Margaritaville Man-Made Island in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So big shout out and thank you to you for supplying me with these really obscure root beers. They have a lot of obscure root beer brands, and if you're like a root beer fanatic, definitely give this place a try. But this is essentially their old-fashioned root beer, and this is a very strong vanilla root beer. Like this this thing has a very strong odor and a very strong taste. It is very vanilla heavy, and it gets me wondering. It gets me thinking if many of these old school root beers were primarily made with vanilla as opposed to sassafras or sugarcane. But yeah, I think this root beer is okay, but again, I don't. I think this ranks in the middle of the road in terms of all of the root beers that I've had on this channel. But if you like strong vanilla flavorings and tastings and stuff like that, uh, you'll have a good time with this root beer. But yeah, nothing really much else I could say. Emery's old fashioned root beer, it's fine. Um, but the star of this batch for me is Death Valley root beer. Now, this is pretty much a combination of all of the strengths from these four root beers. It has the fizziest strength of Route 66 and Brown Caramel Cream root beer, and it has the creaminess of Emery's. But this root beer has a very nice flavor and aftertaste. The fizziness is kind of weak. It's a little bit sharp. It's much like with Black Bear root beer. It was a little bit too sharp for my tasting. And I know what you're thinking. Well, why don't you feel that way about Barks? At least Barks has a sharp bite, but it is complemented by a great flavor and a great aftertaste. Here, here and with Black Bear, it has a, but with Black Bear, it didn't really have that. It didn't have the flavor to back up the sharp fizziness. But this, in my opinion, does. It has a really unique flavor to it. It has a really unique aftertaste. And the flavor, as I said, pretty nice. Very refreshing, I might add. But yeah, Death Valley Root Beer, definitely the best out of these four. Yeah, definitely one of the better root beers that I've had on this channel. Alright, so now we are going to do the taste test. So I will start off with Emery 5 and 10s. Old-fashioned root beer. So, cheers. You can taste that vanilla aftertaste. Wow. Very old school. Alright, and then finally we have Death Valley Root Beer. In my opinion, the best out of these four. So, cheers. Very nice. Alright, so with that said, that concludes this edition of Coda of Soda. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122 signing out. Ready to dive and more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.